We're here. Got the team behind us. Hello, Yosemite. Always a pleasure. Let's remove that. Good afternoon to everybody. Hey, wait a second. Yeah, you noticed something there. I'll show you in a second. I'll come right back to that. But then again, you're watching, aren't you? Yep, little clean shaven over here. Little clean shaven. I gotta love these memories on Facebook, right? The stuff that pops up. It's kind of cool. And there we go. We're here. Let's edit audience. Let's make that work. Go back to public. We're good. We're good. Alex is sharing this stuff with me here today, too. Let's go to his profile. And there we go. All right, let's go back to StreamYard. We're here. You're here. We got comments live. We're live. I got this on. I got the trade show, that ECNY Foundation. Maybe I'll put that logo up. Maybe I'll put some of these logos up behind me. Perhaps I will. Perhaps I won't. Perhaps. Perhaps we're going to change a whole bunch of different things here. There we go. That's the way it should be. Gonna make note of where that goes. Got a new backing we're gonna put up. Ran around this morning. Had to get a new printer too. Whatever. Who cares, right? Doesn't matter. But anyhow, I had to get a new printer. Finally replacing that whole thing. It's amazing how little I print nowadays. But anyhow, still got stuff need to do over the course of the day. That's paperwork. Not a lot, but some. Not a lot, but some. But let's take a look at this one. What is with this found? The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Boy, how much of an impact that foundation, positive impact, that foundation has had in my life. The disease, how much of a challenging impact that's had in the lives of myself, my family, friends, a lot of friends I've gotten to know, a lot of challenges they face, medical challenges I can't do anything with, physical challenge, can't do anything with, lend an ear. Sometimes they're good at that, sometimes not so good at it. I certainly got a long way to go to improve on on that side of things. You guys don't even see it. Maybe you should see it. you know, get frustrated with a bunch of different things. Career wise, what's going on? Where are we going? What am I doing? It's always a question. So like today when I said I was going to go live, I was just going to go kind of chat about the whole thing. So got that stuff. That's like I don't know. Perhaps here's why every once in a while. Well, what do I do? Why am I doing what I'm doing? All the rest of that kind of stuff. Why is it that looking back on what we were like in elementary school, high school, college, if you went to college, if you went to a vocational program, how that impacted your career, what you did, what your family did they impact what you did? What about friends? How much does that impact things? What about those things you did when you were with friends? Kurt, yeah, I disappeared, Kurt. Clean shaven. That was a moment in time there too. But all those things you did with your friends, what'd you do? What'd you do? Did you go to a movie all the time? You did the gaming all the time? Maybe the newer age groups, the younger age groups. Yeah, doing that whole thing. Um, perhaps you get involved with the political side of life. Since we're totally so, what happened, Kurt, is I kind of shaved a little bit over there. Uh, so we'll get uh, we'll get back to that. Hang on, I don't want to. I just want to answer this thing. Uh, Whatever. Well, I'll tell you all about it later. Hey, good afternoon. It's Brian. I appreciate the call. Yes, very good. Can I give you a call back? I'm just in the middle of something right now, and happy to chat with you about what I spoke to him about. Okay, thanks. I didn't want to not answer the phone. Appreciate it. Thanks. I didn't want to share that whole story with you there, but it's kind of a cool thing that's coming up. But it fits into all the rest of this. So, is that rude? It's like being at a meeting and answering the phone. So, yeah, perhaps that was a little bit. But yeah. So anyhow, so all those things that we did as kids, all those things that we learned in school, all those things that we paid attention to in school, all that impacts everything. my family, stuff like that, man, we got stuck with this disease. Oh, it sucks. Flat out, man, it sucks. Is it frustrating? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not the one diagnosed, but impactful without a doubt. Without a doubt. Does that affect how I'm actually working with other people, what I'm looking at and doing and trying to do, and patience I have with other people, including sometimes with Innovia? Yeah, absolutely does. Is it? It's so that's an impact on things. Has that led me in different directions? Without a doubt. It certainly has. Even going and growing up and the rest of that kind of stuff. Everything leads to it. And that's why I get so excited about doing these career days. That is because of that, this disease, my own career path is why I get excited about doing the career days. So I might ask me, what we're really talking about? And by the way, I got an invitation to speak probably later on this month, although that's coming up like super quick, at one of the local high schools. So, hey, Kurt, if you're interested in these things, just let me know. Um, so what do I go in there? Said, oh yeah, you can do anything you want to do. Life is grand. It's a piece of cake. You just do it, man. Just go. Just do it. Anything's possible. Okay. You know what? Just about anything is possible. The longer you wait, the more and more those possibilities continue to decrease. Or we'll put it more politely. Nice. The longer you wait, as you grow older, those possibilities kind of funnel down. Is that a positive or negative? Depends on how you look at it. It's like, oh, yeah, to get older, there's less things you can do. Or as you get older, you get more focused on the things that you really should be doing. This is why that statement goes up. Oh, if I only knew that, then what I knew now. And somewhere around here, I think I got it in the garage. I got a book. I got a book. I don't think I've shared this one in a while, but I wrote a chapter in a couple of different books. I think I'm actually an international best-selling author in an anthology. I believe that's how it's actually stated out there. So I wrote a chapter inside of a book with, it must have been 50 other people for that one. It was the Heart of a Toastmaster. Oh yeah, another organization that I can't seem to let go of. And I became an international bestseller because of, not my story, because of somebody else, because somebody else I just ran across, because I was involved in an organization that all had to do with becoming a better speaker and a stronger leader, which is the tagline. But that's not it either. It's becoming a more effective person. More effective person. So why is it that we have to get older before we figure out what we need to funnel down to, or how we can become more effective, because now we understand ourselves that much more? What if, just what if, we turn that funnel upside down, right? Turn that funnel upside down. I mean, just think about what could happen over here. All right. If we turn that funnel upside down, where we then spoke to high school students, junior high, middle school, younger elementary school students, not about our careers, not about what we've accomplished, not about any of that stuff, but about them. But about them. What is it that they enjoy doing? What if you paid attention to what you were doing when you were in fourth grade, sixth grade, eighth grade, 10th grade, 12th grade? What if you really paid attention at that time to that? Right? I always came up with some crazy ideas. Did they ever materialize? Nah, when I was young. I had nobody, we sat, we spoke with each other. Never really materialized. Played paddleball. Didn't go anywhere with it. Never that good or anything like that. That wasn't it, but it was fun. Part of a group, stuff like that. Was I competitive? Nah, not really. I always felt bad if I won. How terrible is that? But that is always the case. Always wanted to make sure the other person was in the game. And again, I was never that good, so those opportunities didn't come up terribly often. So let's not get crazy on that one. You know, it wasn't like I had this pro paddleball career in front of me that I gave up because I wanted to be a nice guy. No, but I think I always did want to be the nice guy. Did want to see everybody participate. Heck, even when I was coaching a soccer club, didn't even it was so funny on that one, right? So, teams are out there always trying to win and stuff like that. And this was years ago where we actually, I think we were keeping score, maybe when we first started to go with the not keep score. But these kids were, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Who cared what the score was? The kids did. I don't think the parents did. Didn't think the parents did. But there was a friend of mine that was coaching a travel team. Never forgot that one. Used to commute with him. He was coaching a travel soccer team. And he was telling me these stories. He never got hit. Not like some of these coaches today. Those videos are horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Different topic. Different topic. But folks, parents, please stay on the sidelines. Stay out of it. But some of the parents, I mean, they were putting pressure on him. They should get a better coach. They should spend more money on coaching. He was fine, but they were bringing professional coaches too. It was travel, so it was a whole different thing. And I'm saying what I'm doing was, kids, just kids getting together, on the weekend and going playing, local community stuff. It was what it was, nothing like that. Some of the parents started getting a little bit aggressive. Not again, nothing like today. So I don't mean that. But about they wanted the kids to go out there and win. I'm like, slow down. Here's the thing that got me on that whole side of things is that, the parents, when they would yell at their kid's name, what do you think a 6-year-old kid is going to do when they hear his name? They're going to stop and turn around and look to say, hey, who called my name? I recognize mommy's voice. I recognize daddy's voice. And now they're no longer playing soccer. So stop telling the kids to kick the ball more. Let them focus on what's going on. But I wanted to see those kids. I wanted to see those kids play, have a good time, everybody participate and stuff like that. I gave a speech to the parents at one of these seasons as a look, just flat out. If you want to be on a winning team, go someplace else. Just go someplace else. Want the kids to play, to learn, and learn about the game a little bit. Yeah, I'm not a soccer player, so I really couldn't teach them altogether too much. Just want to teach them which way the goal was, in that respect. But I wanted everybody to play, teamwork, learn how to pass, make it work that way. Gave that speech in front of the parents. Well, you know what happened that year? One, the parents were quieter. They weren't yelling at the kid's name over the course of the season. And we won every game. I don't know how, but we did. Or maybe I do know how. Because we were focused on their skills at the moment. They were focused on the game at the moment. They were focused on the moment at the moment. They were focused on the moment at the moment. That's something that has certainly disappeared with us. But now let's get back to that question, that what if question. What if you, at this stage of your life, at this stage of your career, wherever you may be, were to then take a look at what you are doing and really focus on where you're at? Not I mean from a career standpoint, but where you're at from a skill level. What is it that you do that you're just super excited about? And what could you do with that skill and build from there? A lot of things, I'm sure. Now, we get pushed into, as careers go, as we get older, married, kids, things happen, some bad decisions we make along the way, some decisions that just are because they're just not something we did, but just are. They push us in some certain direction. And then what do we do with that? Sometimes we get really pissed off and all the rest of that. I get it. I do too. And all the rest of it. My wife keeps telling me, those people think you're in a good mood all the time. Well, let me just tell you flat out. No, I'm not. Not in a good mood all the time. But we get funneled out. Let's stay here, focused. We get funneled down to what those skills that we have that we're really good at. and we could build businesses out of it. We could do hobbies out of it. The little side gigs, right? That's our big thing now, right? Side gigs out of it. Maybe we could focus in on the companies that work and be that entrepreneur, really focused in and doing really, really good stuff in that company, whether or not it's 100% of what your job description is. I can tell you on my side of things, I've actually probably have gotten more enjoyment out of some places I've worked by doing that extra something or that slightly different something rather than just the job. Did the job, did that, whatever, got it done, but then kind of focus on the other thing. Funny thing is, sometimes it's appreciated, other times it creates friction. Whatever. I find that frustrating, but that's a whole nother topic too. I'm sure you're doing that. I'm sure you're focusing in now, whatever reasons that made that fun a little bit more specific, that brought you to where you're at, to brought you to that level of success, emotionally, financially, physically, whatever part of the community, however you want to define that one. But let's get back into the big what if. So I'm involved with a couple of different things. One, Toastmasters, about that public speaking thing, making me a better person, right? Better communicator across the board. I volunteer with the high schools, involved with the ECNY Foundation. That's helping people. And my focus has been working with the younger generations and getting into the schools, doing those career days. So that's in and of itself one and the same. That microphone thing, damn, I love that microphone. Why? I can tell you one of the reasons why I do is the fact that it's really time efficient and it's fun. I mean, let's not go, off the path here too much. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of doing it. It's like, hey, you're the guy. Put out that. All right. So call me what you will. I definitely enjoy that. But I like that. And if I went back to fourth grade, I played Christopher Columbus and it was ad libbed. We knew the storyline, but not the words. It was ad libbed. So maybe it was there. Maybe that was in me all along, to do stuff. But I enjoy that. And you know what it allows me to by doing that is that my time, I'm able to manage my time a little bit more so, or and look for different opportunities and look for different things. I find that to be fun. And I know going back in time where I did that stuff with the plays, the rest of it. Once I was Christopher Columbus, and I was a monkey in The Wizard of Oz, took on that supporting role. No, and I guess I mentioned before, with the sports, in high school, hanging out in high school, playing frisbee, had a good time playing frisbee and all the rest of that stuff. It's like, some classes I enjoyed more than others. Why? Because I found them interesting. Just found them interesting to go and do. But I know if I look back on those things that I did in elementary school, high school, college, it all had to do something with a microphone. It all had to do something, finding some excitement, learning about something a little bit different. I learned about marine monsters and mermaids in college. I got credit for it. I learned about canoe camping. What did I learn about that? How to read a map. That was the biggest thing I learned there. Also learned about teamwork because I'm sitting out there taking photos. Yes, enjoy that. And the guy that was in the canoe with me, he found that he was doing most of the paddling and I was taking photos. He taught me a good lesson about teamwork. Do it. The two of us supposed to be paddling, doing that. But now let's take all this and flip it around that funnel. What if you took your funnel, where you're at right now, that skill set, and you spoke to fourth graders, sixth graders, eighth graders, 10th graders, 12th graders, those high school, junior high, middle school, elementary school students that are in the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, or in scouting, as I think that is now called. What if you went and you spoke to the students that were involved in your church? I did it over with the temple, with the shul. It was the friendship circle. I got invited in to be the MC. It wasn't a keynote speaker, the MC for that event. I was like, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to do it. The guy that was normally doing it couldn't do it. I'd be happy to do it. What it was, I had no idea. What I found out it was unbelievable. It was students helping students. It was friends being friends with other people that would not necessarily have friends because they had some medical illness, some challenge that they were going through. That is great. I've seen that also with the churches, right? I got some friends that are heavily involved in the church side of things. His name's Cohen. I'm not that involved in the church side of things. But I've spoken to them about some of the programs that are out there, what they're doing. Great stuff. So find you a group. Here's your actionable thing. Where are we at? 20 minutes, 21. I got 9 more minutes there, Kurt. See, here's the thing. Here's what I suggest that you do. Find your group. Don't care what it is. Find your group. Find those younger folks and turn your funnel around. Don't start with here. Oh, the world is your oyster. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. What does that mean? That's like an elevator pitch. What do? I help people. Okay. The heck does that mean? It means nothing. 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 I help small businesses get more comfortable using the microphone so they could go on and do podcasts and interviews. Now it's something. Now all of a sudden we're visualizing something. So if you went into that student population, that community group, and started speaking, and you went in there and the teacher, leader, asked you, well, what are you going to speak about? You're going to speak about how you could turn this funnel around and talk to them about what skills they have. And here's the feedback you're probably going to get. You might be asking yourself, said, man, you're talking about an 8-year-old kid, a 12-year-old kid, a 16-year-old kid. 18-year-old may know more, right? Even a 16-year-old may know more. You may be awfully surprised because that 14, that 12-year-old, that 10-year-old, that 8-year-old, I think it was even younger than that. It was 4th grade class that I spoke of her. They may have visions. Don't shortcut them. So if you can help them take this big thing and then funnel it down, now all of a sudden you can help that student, that person, that young man, that young woman gain a lot more traction in this quest to become whomever it is that they are destined to be. And I do believe this. I do believe that we were given ability, however that happens, but I do believe that we were given abilities within ourselves that we're really good at. Some of us excel at it. Some of us are just unbelievable at, have Tom Brady. How does a guy like Tom Brady be able to play football as a quarterback for so many years? Come from luck? I don't think it's luck. I think it's hard work, but there's an ability that's in there with him. He's a certain height and weight and all the rest of this stuff. It got started at an early age. We got started at an early age. Do you think when he was young, they said, oh, you're very athletic. You could be in any athletic event you want. That's not really the case. He's a big guy. I don't think he's got a swimmer's body. Runner, depends. I don't know what his weight was at the time. I don't know about that. Fencing, ping pong, no. I think it was much more of a physical sport. So again, his funnel got flipped around. It wasn't everything. And if you have that kind of athletic ability, you shouldn't be sitting at a desk. So you should be in sports. You should be in a physical sport. You should be in a sport where you are a leader or a follower. Depends on what his personality was at the time. Playing quarterback, you got to think and I was going to say think and speak at the same time. No, you got to think and do at the same time. It's kind of like improv, improv sports, not improv comedy or not improv speaking. But that funnel. So when you speak to that teacher, like, oh, they're so young. What do they know? A lot more than you can imagine. And you're going to go in there, you're going to help these kids take that funnel and narrow it down by speaking to them about those things that they normally do, that they're doing in their free time, that they find enjoyment in. If I was much better than somebody at paddleball, whatever, I didn't want to. I wanted to win, but I didn't want to, cremate, embarrass. I want to make a game of it. Wanted to see enjoyment on both sides. Maybe I always was in that supportive role. I don't mind leading interviews. I want to win at that, but I don't want to do an interview where I'm beating up on somebody, making you look like, stupid, like an idiot. I want there to be takeaways out of the whole thing. Same thing, right? Is that personality? Yeah. So when you speak to those students, you find out what it is that they just like to do and like to do in their free time. And I'm going to give you this. I got a couple more minutes here. I'm going to go through this one more time with this fourth grade class. It left such an impression on me. This fourth grade class, by the time I got done speaking with these students, and there was roughly 25 in there, and I would say 10 of them were actively participating in this thing. I had one student I couldn't get the attention of. Frustrating, but that's where that one went. Never know what the impact was on that student because I got no feedback from him other than he really didn't want to pay attention. But those other students, one of them volunteered at the church, young lady. She volunteered at the church. She was very involved with the clothing, mending the clothing, cleaning the clothing, making sure it's all folded nice. So for people that needed clothes and it was donated to, she was doing that. I was like, "Do you really enjoy doing that?" She said, "Yeah, I really do." And I was like, "Can you see yourself doing that?" And the answer was yes. That was my big eye opener. She said, "Yeah, yeah, I like sewing the clothes. I like making my own clothes." I'm like, really? I like making my clothes. I want to be a seamstress. And then all of a sudden, somebody else chimed in on the whole thing too. He's like, yeah, I like costumes. I like making decorations for the holidays and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, we have a dressmaker here. We have a costume designer here. Interesting. Interesting. Somebody else said, oh, I like taking photos. There you go. Like taking photos. That person, they like taking photos. Maybe that turns into videos. Maybe that turns into like a film career. Could be. Could be. And then there was the young gentleman who wanted to be a football player. But if not that, wow. But if not that. And then all of a sudden, one by one, a lot of people started sharing their thoughts. Telling you could have made a movie. You could have had a whole movie production crew out of this group. I don't even have a clue in the world as to what that teacher's face was and what that teacher was thinking while this was going on. Man, I was just like in the moment with those kids. And more importantly, those kids were in the moment about who they really were. That funnel got flipped around and it got narrowed down. Those kids were total inspiration. Those kids opened my eyes like they've never been opened before. Never been open before. I knew I wanted to continue doing these things. And I heard some of the other people that were there talking about their businesses and who they are and what they did and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But here's what doesn't happen so many times at these things. They're not saying, hey, school is absolutely everything, education is absolutely everything. What they're saying is, you got to find those things that you really enjoy doing. And a lot of them did it and did it differently, but you got to find that thing that you really enjoy doing. That's what you do. So when you get an opportunity to speak at the group that you speak in front of, even if it's budding entrepreneurs, I want to own my own business, doing what? I don't know. It's the same conversation. Speak to high school students. Hey, you know what? I'm in school. I may go to college. I don't know why. What do you like to do? What do you really like to do? What are you good at doing? What are you good at doing? So that's what you're going to do. Next time you get that opportunity, tell them what you're going to do. He's not going to talk just about your career. You want to show them what it is. This way, they can see that and they know who you are as a person. But you're going to help them flip that funnel around where they're much more focused. And when they're much more focused, they're then going to go out and they're going to see opportunities because that's what they're going to be thinking about. That's what's going to be on the top of their mind. Hey, I'm really good at making announcements. I really want to work with a microphone. Where can I find a microphone? In every school, somebody's making announcements at every class, not at every class, but at every performance. Every time there's something going on in the auditorium, every time that there's a baseball game, a football game, that gentleman could be out there making announcements. Maybe he becomes the commentator on those things. Maybe he finds he'd much rather do that than go play on the field. Money might be less, but less physical injury too. Who knows? That's what you could do. And that's be the greatest thing. That would be the greatest thing in the world you could do. All right, Carrier, thanks for joining us over here. We're at 30 minutes. So I'm gonna stop on that one. But dude, that man inspired people. That's it. And there's a big economic impact that goes along with that. And there's more and more people going to be working on the island. And I'll tie it in with what I said in the beginning there too. The thing about the job career opportunities with the manufacturers at the HIA trade show May 26th. That's why. That's why this has to get in front of the students. Not for them to find a job now, but to see the possibilities that are out there. There are tons of possibilities. That's where it's going to go. All right. Carrie and Alex restarted or started their networking group. So it's on Wednesdays. And I'm going to go share this right now. Share screen. We'll go over here. Entire screen. No. Window. No. Here. That. There we go. And let's see if we can make it a little bit better. Tomorrow's Hump Day, so is this Hump Day in Riverhead or on Zoom? That's at the Bagel Lovers Cafe or on Zoom by going to the Booking Ace. So that is tomorrow from 12 o'clock on. There we go. So it's Wednesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Bagel Lovers Cafe. That's located in Riverhead. And it's going to be one of these hybrid kind of meetings. So Alex and Carrie, I assume Carrie will be there. A couple of other folks out there, and then also on Zoom. And if you're looking at this thing, that's the new car. It won't be done from the car. It'll be done from the cafe. That's what's happening. I got a few additional things to share as we go through. Let's throw that one back up. We're here. Oop, there we go. Keep that there. So it's May 26th, HIA Trade Show. Sign up, go. It's going to be a great trade show. Anthony and team, Hallie, Teresa, there's so many people involved in that one. I'm making it a great show. I would think at this point in time, I believe at this point in time, it's sold out from the booth standpoint. It's back at Suffolk Community College on the Brentwood campus. I don't have the final who's going, but I know I'm going to be there. Definitely want to kind of promote out that whole vocational thing because it's truly important. I know we've invited and a lot of folks, within the automotive world, will be there. The manufacturers, obviously, the folks that I know that are involved with the internship programs and coordinating that. The Y Foundation folks are going to be there. I hope you're there also to make that day a success. Ron Loveland with the manufacturers, they got the job fair in there. So if you know anybody that is working with people that are looking to find employment, this should be a good thing to do. And maybe they could share it or you could share out, this flyer in here. The more and more people that could find careers on the island, the better it's going to be for everybody. These manufacturers are looking for people, telling you, opportunities are there. They're not just job, it's career. It's exciting. It's exciting. And what could come out of that little factor in there as I take this world and bring it down to this world? Well, you'll hear more about that as we go along. And you want to know something? A lot of it was inspired by this right here. Because we all face challenges. Sometimes it's self-inflicted. Sometimes, as in this case, they're not. There's still so much more that we could be doing. It's not going to be this. It'll be more like this. But that's fine. Figure out what you're good at doing and do it. Inspire somebody else to do it. And that is why you need to speak well, speak often, and live inspired, my friends.